Hello friends, this video is going to be on synthetic division and the remainder theorem. So when we have synthetic division, we are going to take the binomial and we are going to think in our mind that if x plus 3 were to equal 0, then x would equal negative 3. So we are going to put negative 3 over here to the side. I call it putting it in the box. Then we are going to take the coefficients of the dividend and we are going to write them right beside that. So we have a 2, we have a negative 5, we have a negative 1, and we have a 3. And we do want to make sure all of our powers are present. We have a third power, a second power, a first power, and no x at all, so we are good. Then we're going to I'm going to leave space to write a set of numbers, and then I'm going to put an equals bar. And the hardest thing for people to remember is the very first number is going to come straight down, so I'm going to write the 2. And then it is a series of multiplication and addition. So we're going to multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So we're going to take negative 3 times 2. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And then we're going to add those two numbers together. And negative 5 and negative 6 are negative 11. And then we're going to repeat. So we're going to take negative 3, and this time we're going to multiply it by negative 11. And we're going to get positive 33. And then we're going to add negative 1 plus 33 is 32. And then we're going to repeat. We're going to multiply negative 3 times 32. If we take negative 3 times 32, we get negative 96. And then we're going to add. And negative 3 minus 96 is negative 90. Whoops, wrong color. Negative 93. So our quotient is 2x squared minus 11x plus 32 minus the fraction 93 divided by x plus 3. So that is the quotient. That is the quotient. Because we did not get 0, because we got a remainder of negative 93, we are going to say that x plus 3 is not a factor of the polynomial. However, the ordered pair, negative 3, negative 93, is on the graph, or is a solution. And where did that come from? Negative 3, negative 93 is where that came from. And that is finding the quotient and describing what you know. Okay? Alrighty. So let's try another one. Okay, we are going to take, if x plus 8, if x plus 8 equals 0, then x is negative 8. So we are going to put negative 8 in the box. And we are going to take the coefficients of the dividend, which is 1, 2, negative 49, 22, 240. And we are going to put those right here. 1, 2, negative 49, 22, 240. We are going to leave space. We are going to put an equals bar. And we are going to pull the very first term straight down. That is going to give us the number 1. Then we're going to multiply and add. We are going to take negative 8. Wow. We are going to take negative 8. We're going to multiply it by 1. And we're going to put the result right there, which is negative 8. Then we're going to add 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Then we're going to repeat. Negative 8 times negative 6. Put our result right there. Negative 8 times negative 6 is 48. Negative 49 plus 48 is negative 1. Then we're going to repeat. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 8. We're going to add 22 plus 8 is 30. Then we're going to repeat. Negative 8 plus times 30 is negative 240. 240 minus 240 is 0. So winner, winner, chicken dinner, we got a remainder of 0. Because we got a remainder of 0, we are going to say the quotient, first of all. The quotient is, if this is a 4th power, we're going to use 3rd power, is x to the 3rd power minus 6x to the 2nd power minus x plus 30. We are going to say x plus 8 is a factor of the polynomial negative 8 is a 0 of the graph. So in other words, if we were to graph this, we might not know a lot, but we do know that of all the places it goes through, at least one of them, we don't know which one of them has to be the number negative 8. Okay, we don't know where, we don't know what, but we know something. We know that there's a negative 8. We know that the ordered pair, negative 8, 0, is on the graph. Okay, so basically, this number right here is the y value that goes with this x value. So the negative 8 is the x value. The remainder is the y value, and if the remainder is 0, that means it hits the x-axis. So we don't know which one of those places it is. It could be any of those 3. But at least one of them is negative 8, 0. Now, this tells us to find the zeros. So you'll notice the directions are different. So we're going to do what we just did. So I'm going to run through it kind of quickly here at the beginning because it's the exact same problem. I don't know if you noticed that or not. It's the exact same problem. What changed are the directions. Okay. So we're going to put negative 8. Whoa, hello. Let's try again. Let's go to the ink pen. We're going to put negative 8 in the box. And we're going to put a list of coefficients. 1, 2, negative 49, 22, 240, and we are going to do the math. The math says to bring down the very first number, which is 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. All right? Now, we're going to do it again. But now we're only going to do it. We are only going to do it with these numbers. So I'm going to think of what goes into 30. What goes into 30? Factors of 30. Factors of 30. Factors of 30. Factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 15, and 30. And of course, they're negatives. So I'm going to try, I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to pick 5 because I just want to. So I'm going to put 5 right here. I'm going to put 5 in the box. I'm going to put my equals bar. And I'm going to do the multiplication. So I'm going to take, first of all, the first number comes straight down. So the first number is 1. Then I'm going to take 5, and I'm going to multiply it by 1, which gets me 5. I'm going to add, that's negative 1. I'm going to multiply, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. That gets me negative 6. I'm going to multiply, 5 times negative 6 is negative 30, and I get a 0. So yay, winner, winner, chicken dinner, 5 worked. Excellent. So now I'm going to do it again. But this time I'm going to do it again with just these numbers. Okay? Or, actually, if I wanted to, I could take x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0, and I could factor it. I could do that if I wanted to. If I don't want to do that, let's say that I didn't do that. Let's say that I don't know that. Let's say that I decided, I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't want to go that route. Okay, that's fine. So now I need factors of negative 6. Factors of negative 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6, and they're opposites. So I'm going to randomly pick a number, and I'm going to pick the number 3. I just decided on 3. So I'm going to put 3 in the box. I'm going to put an equals bar. I'm going to pull my first number straight down, which is a 1. And then with this 3, I am going to do the multiply add. So 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 1 and 3 are 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 6 and 6 are 0. So I got 0 again. I have no remainder. Awesome. That's fabulous. Now, if I want to, I can say x plus 2 equals 0. So x is negative 2. So I have the other answer. If I don't think about that, that's fine. If that doesn't come to me, if I decide I don't like that idea, that's fine. Then I'm going to look, and I'm going to notice these numbers right here. The last number is a 2, so the factor has to be a factor of 2. So it has to be a 1 or a 2. I'm just going to randomly select negative 2. I'm going to put my equals bar. I'm going to pull down the 1. Negative 2 times 1 is 2. I'm sorry, negative 2, and negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So winner, winner, chicken dinner, I got a remainder of 0. So my answers, my solutions are negative 8, 5, 3, and negative 2. And I expected 4 answers because I had 4 powers. So I'm going to say that the zeros are, and we need to make sure that they're in order from least to greatest. That happens, oh, nope, that's not how I did it. Negative 8, negative 2, 3, and 5. And by the way, just to point this out to you, that all of these numbers are factors of that number. So, find the zeros of the polynomial. We did it. Fabulous. All right. So, find the zeros of the polynomial. So, let's make a list. First of all, let's look at things. Let's notice, for instance, that this is an 18 and this is a negative 3. So, the possible rational, meaning nice, pretty answers, possible rational solutions are going to be factors of 18 and factors of 3. Factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, not 4, not 5, 6, not 7, not 8, 9, and 18. And factors of 3 are 1 and 3. So our possible solutions are positive and negative 1, positive and negative 2, positive negative 3, positive negative 6, positive negative 9, positive negative 18. And if you're wondering where that came from, it came from the idea that if I took the factors of 18 and divided it by 1, I would get 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. And of course the negatives are factors as well. There's also, if I took these factors and divided them by 3, okay, so I would add to my list positive and negative 1/3. 1/3 is a rational number because when we write it as a decimal, we know it's going to continue. 0.33333333 forever. Positive and negative 2/3. Because 2 divided by 3 is 2/3. And 2/3 is a rational number because 2/3 is the number 0.66666666666 forever. We know what the next number is. If I take 3 over 3, I get 1. If I take 6, so let me talk about that. If I take, so there's the 1/3, okay? Here's the 2/3, okay? 3/3 is 1, which I already have. 6/3 is 2, which I already have. 9/3 is 3, which I already have in my list. And 18/3 is 6, which I already have in my list. So if this polynomial is going to hit the x-axis in a nice, pretty, easily definable spot, it's going to be one of these spots. It's going to be positive or negative 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18, 1/3, or 2/3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 possibilities. And I know I'm going to have 3 answers. So when I decide on what number I'm going to put in the box, when I decide what number is going to go here, I'm going to pick from one of those numbers. Now, back in the day, when I was in high school, we really had to pick them. Like we just had to test them. We had to put them in synthetic division and decide which one worked. You guys don't need to do that because you're going to school in 2025. And in 2025, we have 2 wonderful pieces of technology. We have a graphing calculator and we have Desmos. So if it was me, I would take and I would put the polynomial, negative 3x to the 3rd power, minus 6x to the 2nd power, plus 15x, and then plus 18, and I would put it in my graphing calculator, or I would put it in Desmos, and I would look at the table, and I would look for any place where the value of y is 0. And I know that the value of y is going to be 0 at either negative 18, negative 9, nope, negative 6, nope, negative 3, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Negative 3 is going to work. So I'm going to put negative 3. I'm going to put negative 3 in my box. So I don't like where my box is. Let's go here. We're going to put negative 3 in the box. We're going to put the coefficients of the number, which is negative 3, 6, 15, and 18. I'm going to put my equals bar. I'm going to bring my first number straight down. I'm going to multiply. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. It doesn't look like it's going to work, but maybe it will. Let's see. Negative 3 times 15 is, this isn't going to work. What did I leave out? Make sure I typed it in correctly. Negative 3x squared minus 6x squared plus 15x plus negative 18. And it shows that it goes through at negative 3. So I need to keep going. I haven't made any mistakes yet. I need to stop thinking ahead, possibly. Negative 45. Add those together, I get 30. Yeah, that doesn't work. Negative 3 times 30 is negative 90. That does not. Okay, what did I do wrong? I have all my powers. Third power, second power, first power, no power. I put negative 3 in, because negative 3 does work. I pull my very first number down. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Negative 3 times 15 is negative 45. Add those together, I get negative 30. Negative 30 times negative 3 is, that did not make it better, that made it worse. What? I don't know what I did wrong here, friends. Negative 3x to the third minus 6x to the second plus 15x plus 18. I would have never done it this way anyway, but I would have factored it because it factors easily. First number comes straight down. First number is negative 3. Negative 3 gets multiplied by negative... Oh, I lost my sign. See this? Right there, that's the problem. Okay. Let's back up. Sorry about that, friends. Okay. Put a negative there. Hello. All right. First number comes straight down is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 16 and 9 is 3. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. 15 minus 9 is, wait for it, 6. And negative 13 times 6 is negative 18. And that gives you 0. Awesome. So, the negative 3 worked. What else is going to work? Negative 1 is going to work. So I'm going to put negative 1 in here. Put my bar. Put negative 1 right here. I'm sorry, put negative 3 right there. Hello. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. That's 0. Then I have the problem. Negative 3x plus 6 equals 0. Negative 3x equals negative 6. X equals 2. So my zeros are negative 3, negative 1, and 2. Negative 3, negative 1, and 2. All right, sorry for the problem that I had. You'll notice that my issue was, when I did the problem, I forgot the sign, and that made a mistake. Okay, find the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, so the polynomial ends with a negative 20. So the factors of negative 20 are plus and minus 1, plus and minus 2, plus and minus 4, plus and minus 5, plus and minus 10, plus and minus 20. So if it's going to come out pretty, it's going to be one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one of those 12 numbers. one of those 12 numbers. And we could definitely try them randomly. We could pick them. Or we could go to the graphing calculator and we could put them in. So we put in x to the third power plus 4x to the second power minus 5x minus 20. And we look at the table and we notice that it looks like it hits at -4. So I'm going to try -4. So I'm going to try -4. And my coefficients, let's see if I can get them right this time, are 1, 4, -5, and -20. Put my equals bar, pull the first number straight down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. I got 0 as at the end, so I have no remainder. This is x squared plus no x's minus 5 equals 0. X squared minus 5 equals 0. X squared equals 5. X equals a positive and a negative radical 5. So my zeros are -4 and positive and negative square root of 5. Okay. Determine if x minus 3 is a factor. We can do this two ways. The first way we can do this is we can remember that x minus 3 equals 0. So x would be 3. So way number 1, the first method, is to take 3, put it in the box, and then put 4, -10, -21. Put your equals bar, pull down your 4. 3 times 4 is 12. -10 and 12 are 2. 3 times 2 is 6. We get -15. This is not 0. So x minus 3 is not a factor. Second method. We could take f of 3 and we could put f of 3 in 4, 3 squared minus 10 times 3 minus 21. We could type that in our calculator or do it by hand. I'm going to do it by hand. 9 times 4 is 36 minus 30 minus 21. F of 3 is minus 15. So the answer there is x minus 3 is not a factor. Either of those methods are absolutely fine. By the way, just so you know, the ordered pair, 3, -15, is on the graph. And this is a quadratic that opens up. So somewhere on this quadratic, there is the point 3, -15. Okay? And that's it. All right, my friends. Have a great day.